What did you just say?
I don't think you want to say.
Okay. It is TexAgs Rewind here, presented by T-Mobile. We want to thank T-Mobile for sponsoring this show. Visit T-Mobile.com/AcrossAmerica to learn more about how you get value and coverage with T-Mobile. What show is this, guys?
The Fan
Show. Actually, this is not the. This is the
Rewind.
No, TexAgs
really,
Rewind.
Yeah, but this is
Sorry,
really
this is the
awkward.
Rewind.
You guys.
We just like singing.
Yes, this is a completely different
Are
show.
we doing a musical?
We might.
Barbershop.
We're gonna
TexAgs Rewind the musical.
No, Buchanan, the musical.
Hey, remember we were going to front load this. You need to comment, subscribe, share, and like.
Yep,
Yeah.
do all that.
Look at.
I remember.
Jeez.
Now people have changed the video because we haven't told them what's coming up on the video, because the only way you watch these videos is with a table of contents right in the beginning. So
Bring it.
It's over. Now, DeMarvin Leal going to the NFL. We like him, right? Yeah.
Love him.
Stephen McGee on Zach Calzada versus LSU. He gave us the highs and the lows in that one. Ryan Swope on Jalen Preston's arrival. Love what he did, though. Those 2 touchdowns there for A&M. First time since his first game, right? 2018.
Yeah.
Wow. And then Aaron Torres goes around college football.
AT.
It is. What is this? Oh, yeah. Texas Rewind.
Texas.
And Roy May goes crazy on Notre Dame.
Yeah, he does. Bye. I've seen him listed, as I mentioned, anywhere from the top 10 to late first rounder. Mel Kiper has him as the number 1 rated defensive tackle on his big board. He didn't say if he's playing in the bowl game this year or not. I would assume he is not. Typically, those top 10 picks, they go and they start working, getting ready for the combine and whatnot. And with that, we begin the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan, our Heisman Trophy voter and our good buddy. Good morning, Olin.
Good morning. I would suspect that DeMarvin would not play in the bowl game because, like you said, a lot of them now don't. But, he's such a team guy, you wonder.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett played.
Mm-hmm. Texas Bowl, I think it was, right?
I can't even remember what it was. I just know he played.
Yep.
I don't think it might have been the Texas Bowl against Kansas State. But anyway, the point is, he played. Christian Kirk wasn't a top 10 guy, but he played.
Yep.
To my knowledge, and I could be wrong on this, Justin Madubuike is the only guy that from A&M that's opted out of the bowl game. I don't know if that's accurate, but this one I remember. But if DeMarvin does not play in the bowl game, I would hope that would not change how he's perceived by anyone who follows Texas A&M, because he has represented A&M so well. He's a good guy. He plays hard all the time. He's a great teammate. I think it's 58 total tackles this year, which would be the highest total for defensive linemen in the SEC.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a crazy total. And he's also a guy that gets moved around, so he doesn't play just end. He'll play tackle. He'll be on the nose. So he's so athletic to be that big that you can play him wherever you want to.
So I obviously knew of DeMarvin before I got to TexAgs. Everybody sees him on the field. He stands out. But getting to know him this year, my first meeting was at the SEC Media Days, and we chit-chatted for a little bit. He's always got a smile on his face, very polite, kind of a imposing figure, but a very nice guy. Like, he comes across just very likable. He answers all the questions. When he's been here for NIL stuff, is one of us chatting with people behind the scenes. Really, I just really like the young man and his impact moving forward. Well, let's talk about his impact here at A&M. What he meant to the defense, because he didn't always get the sacks, but his impact on the field created sacks for others many times.
Oh, without a doubt. And there's so many times that he was, somebody would be trying to avoid him and run right into a sack. Right. He was just, he's just a phenomenal player who's got excellent statistics, and yet the statistics don't even begin to show his impact, which is why he incredulously was not all SEC last year. Voters were just looking at stats, numbers, not putting anything into it, any real effort into it. And because if you couldn't see that guy, wasn't an all-conference player, then you're blind. I can remember before last season getting a call from a guy from Florida because, the schedule had been readjusted and Florida had been added to A&M's schedule, and he was looking for a scouting report on A&M, and he's like, he didn't know who DeMarvin Leal was.
Yeah.
He asked me who was A&M's best defensive player. Is it so-and-so? I said, oh, no, it's DeMarvin Leal. He's like,
who?
What does he play?
Right.
And when you have to educate somebody who is in the SEC media on a player of DeMarvin's caliber, you realize that he's probably not going to make all SEC because his name's not big enough in the eastern part of the conference.
Hey, Steven, let's talk Saturday night. I know that you've done film room. What a disaster the way that thing ended. Just overall feelings on how things played out.
That was a tough one. You're kind of left there thinking, man, this is frustrating as an Aggie fan. I mean, this is clearly the year where we have the upper hand from a talent perspective. Even last year's win against them when we had the upper hand, it wasn't a clean game. I don't know if y'all remember that game at all, but Kellen struggled in it. And it's just hard for us to play well against LSU at teams. And that's frustrating to me because they've outplayed us on the field and they've out-recruited us, generally speaking. And then, of course, this year we're doing well on the recruiting side of things. But you want to see us be able to win that game when we do have better football players. And that one, I'm sure y'all debated this back and forth a million times. I think Mike Elko is one of the best defensive coordinators. I love him. He's a great football coach, and I thought he called a really good game. But to me, it was a little frustrating to see us in single high man and pressuring with a minute and 20 on the clock. And as a quarterback, you're thinking the one thing I want most is single high man pressure because I can throw a fade ball for a touchdown. That's the easiest look you're going to get as a quarterback. You're thinking, oh my gosh, you have just dialed up my dream. Now, granted, we called that pressure and had success earlier in the game. I understand that. But situational football to me, that was my biggest pet peeve was a minute and 20 left on the clock. Keep everything in front of you. I know pressures work. I know single high man's work. But why give him the opportunity there at the end of the game? I'm sure they have a great reason. He's much smarter. He knows football way more than I do. I'm not acting like that. That one I was kind of sitting back from 1,000 feet high and wondering, man, what the heck just happened?
All right, Ryan, let's kind of go through it. Who got it done, in your opinion, on Saturday night for A&M? One of the good calls out there.
Man, Jalen Preston was fun to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jalen. He's a dynamic player, and he's got breakaway speed, and he showed up, and it was fun watching him do what he did. And I guess he's a junior, so hopefully we'll get to see more of that next year. Yeah, Jalen Preston, he's a special player, and I'm glad that we got him involved in the game plan.
Ryan Swope with us here on the BCSI hotline. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can text us on the A&B text line. 979-693-1150 is the number. All right, anybody that just didn't get it done in your eyes?
No, I mean, not in particular. I'd just say our overall, just there were some good things, but there was some bad pass coverage, assignments. There in the secondary, I feel like they had a couple big plays. But I mean, I can't point fingers really at anybody because I feel like Calzada struggled again. Our offensive line struggled, giving him time. So, I mean, there's a lot of people, I think, that would probably step up to the plate and say that they didn't get it done. And I know I'd be one of them if I lost because it's a team sport. So it's unfortunate because, I think this is a really special team. And I know they got a lot of heart, a lot of character, and a lot of great talent over there. And I just feel like here late, we weren't able to pull through. And good thing is this is a young football team, and they're hungry to win, and they've put themselves in a position here, not only on the field but off the field and recruiting to be something really special. So, I mean, looking back, I think that they exceeded our expectations. I think start the year we would be, we were saying 6 or 7, maybe 8 games would be a tremendous year, and here we are, with 8 wins. So I think there's a lot of positives that you got to sit here and take away. And, especially the recruiting class that Jimbo continues to recruit at a high level. So, it's a tough one to swallow, but we'll be all right.
I believe when you have a coach like Jimbo Fisher, you expect to beat the best coaches out there. There's only one that scares me. His name is Nick Saban. Even Dabo Swinney, who is as good as I think he is, I would take Jimbo in a lot of those matchups with the direction we're going. B, nobody wants to coach under Brian Kelly. C, I don't know what kind of recruiter he is. He did a great job at Notre Dame considering the things that he had to go through, and maybe it'll be easier for him, but I don't know. I think sometimes you have to be a good fit. And I don't know the fit. I think he's a really good coach, and he'll probably do a great job. I just expect him to be good anyway.
Yeah, no, I think I've kind of come full circle, and it was funny. I was just kind of getting a quick workout in before the show with my wife. My wife was with me, and they showed the Brian Kelly press conference, and us living in LA. She asked me about USC, and I said, it's crazy. There's pretty much 100% approval. I don't really know what the argument against Lincoln Riley being not the right guy at USC is, or who you could have done better with. I like Brian Kelly only because I think when you're talking about the last three coaches won a national championship, I don't think it's a bad hire, but I can see the argument where an LSU fan would be frustrated or unimpressed, or on the flip side, a fan of a rival such as Texas A&M, they're not shaking in their boots the way that maybe you would be with Lincoln Riley. I think if Lincoln Riley gets the LSU job, I do think there is oh crap, that guy with better talent and the defensive talent that he'll be able to get at LSU, that could be scary. Not saying it will be, but it could be. Whereas Brian Kelly, I think it'll work. I think he'll make the playoff about as often as he did at Notre Dame. Who knows what the playoff is going to look like here over the next couple of years. But once every 3 years, once every 4 years, I think the difference is he'll have a team that's equipped to win it all. But I also think some of the stuff that you're talking about is real, man. Is the entire staff is staying at Notre Dame. You're going to have an entirely new staff working for him next year. Obviously, the toughest schedule that he'll have ever faced. And so, again, what are expectations in year one for him? And then if you don't meet him, which you likely won't, because, again, entirely new staff, entirely new program, all that good stuff, how quickly could it snowball in the wrong direction? It's just stuff I was thinking about. And, obviously, again, I'm always curious to hear not only your perspective, but the Aggie perspective as well.
All right, so we already told you what to do, so everybody say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.